good to do a review of some of the problems, the dilemmas we encounter in business that have ethical dimensions. Already I asked you to look at 3 cases yourselves, 3 cases each. Before we even go there, I like to make a quick review of the ethical problems in business. So, first question, why be ethical? Why you should be ethical in business? Business is about making money, so let's make money and we will come here. Why need to be ethical?
Because if you're not ethical, at the end someone is going to find it out, and reputation is very valuable in business, and you have to protect it.
So reputation is important. It may affect what? Who cares? Who cares?
Your customers.
Customers. Okay?
And your employees.
The employees care. Why do the customers care?
Because if you do not treat people equally, let's discuss for people. It's a possibility that you are not ethical when it comes to economics, money.
Future trust, about trust.
Yeah, but now if many of us went to Sigma and bakeries and we got some coffee or some snack. If you knew that they are not ethical in the treatment of their employees, or they are not ethical in the way they manage their accounts, why would you not buy coffee and snacks from them? Yes?
I would go somewhere.
Why?
There are a lot of other places here for coffee.
Their choice.
And it's the same price, I would go there.
But why it bothers you? It's their business if they don't treat their employees fairly. It's their own business if they cheat the tax authorities. Huh?
I would not feel good.
Don't feel good. Okay, why?
They are not ethical to their employees, they are not going to be ethical to our transaction between me and...
You count your change carefully, okay, understand. But still you buy from them. Yes?
If I own a restaurant and I know that my client perceives that my waiters are not ethical, that means the food I'm serving is unethical. I don't follow the recipe that I'm seeing in the menu. I don't have quality items to...
Maybe you spit in their food.
And also that.
That's it.
I think it's a more general question. Without ethics, it's a jungle.
The jungle.
And not only that, but we have to consider that life moves far more faster than law, and law cannot mirror life in fullness. You have to have extra guidelines which help you cut decisions throughout life as it moves on. Ethics can play this part. Also, as a business, I had a client of mine who was a multinational business. He had branches in Malaysia, Germany, Caracas, and Cyprus. This company had to go through practically different environments and had still one code of conduct, the company code of conduct. Okay. If it didn't, it would not be able to practically...
Okay, but in everyday terms, I ask you, if you know that Sigma is cheating on its taxes to the government, would you still go and buy your coffee and snack from them?
I think it's not about only the customers of the company. If you are not ethical, you cannot build a strong company. Because in this company there is a corruption, and all they make the bubble to earn for their own individual interests. This company one day will corrupt. So collapse. Sorry. So you have to be ethical to build a strong company.
Yeah, but the question, a specific question, if you knew that Sigma was cheating on the taxes of the government, would you still buy your coffee, a snack from there?
No, because you will exercise social justice, and so you have a power of not buying, so you will use that power.
How far would you go to get your coffee? If your coffee was 3 kilometers away, would you do it? Go to them? How far you would go? Or you go, if it was 200 meters or across the street? How much cost are you willing to pay
That's a good question.
for avoiding an unethical supplier?
I just want to say that the government is cheating on the people with this security. CIIM is cheating with taxes on the government, but the government is cheating.
So what does it, I thought we talked about Socrates before, and we said that the fact that someone cheats you does not justify, does not legitimize you to cheat them too. Right?
Yes.
Yes?
Personally, I have an issue in this, and sometimes my friends even make fun of me, because I always pay with Visa card, so nobody can cheat in taxes and stuff.
Yeah.
So I have a passion in creating the Cyprus in my mind that I think that is in your mind. So, but it depends on how ethical you consider something or not. So if it's based on taxes, it depends on your perspective again, how much you feel that this makes a big default in your country or not. If you're so passionate about something, maybe you can even go to Nicosia to buy. But it depends on how much you feel, it's an ethical.
How much you need this company actually?
Yeah. Would you eat in a restaurant you don't trust it? Would you eat in a restaurant? No. Okay.
Yes. In which
You would?
No.
Would any restaurant that you don't trust? You don't trust the owner or you don't trust the manager?
You don't
If
trust
you don't
this
trust the way they
food or
work, then you don't
taxes
trust
they
the
do not pay. It's too different.
Yes.
Too different.
But they cannot follow the health. Maybe you know.
Can you
cannot
judge
take the
how
information.
many companies play with taxes?
No. If you know that the owner of this company, or the manager or whatever, they are cheating, their taxes, their suppliers, they don't pay on time, they don't do this, they don't do that. Would you feel comfortable eating in that place?
If I have only one place here on opposite side of school and I have 45 minutes to have my lunch, yes, of course, especially if I can trust food, which is made of good food. Yes, this is not about taxes, but
Can you trust food?
question to buy a car. I will never buy a car from supplier who has some issues because I'm not sure. I will come with a problem with my car in a year and he's gonna be here for me.
Okay. How can you trust someone who cheats his employees that is not going to cheat you in the materials that he puts in the food? He can put expired food. He can have his refrigerators are very low.
Reheated food from yesterday.
Yeah, and
I'm afraid we're all doing that every day, eating this, not fresh food. Even in restaurants which pay taxes pretty well, they don't have black cash. I'm afraid we are doing it every day. You cannot judge it until you are poisoned. Yes, and still, it's possible to be poisoned in very good restaurants.
This reminds me of
From the quality.
an American tourist was visiting Meteora. Meteora is Greece, you know, the Meteora, it's this tall mountains made of a rock. And this is a story 50 years old. And when the abbot, the chief monk of the monastery, was explaining to him how they, I'm not going to explain it, you could see how they lower people down on a basket and with the rope and then raise them up. And the American guy saw that the rope was a bit old, it looked old, and so he asked the abbot, "Are you never changing the rope?" No, change it. He said, "Of course we change it." And the American guy says to him, "When do you change it? How often?" Well, whenever it breaks. And the same thing, Rina says, okay, we will keep going to an ethical guy and be a customer of him until we get poisoned.
Yes, you cannot change it.
No, but I think, look, the reputation soon will spread that this place is not trustworthy and customers will leave. Most customers will leave.
Right.
Because if you cannot trust someone in one thing, you cannot trust them in another. Okay. Maybe Cyprus are a little bit more, what do you call it, willing to accept this. But clearly, anybody who is cheating and his employees would cheat also his customers. Einstein said that a person who cannot be trusted in little things, he cannot trust in big things either. So trust is important. Trust is important for the customers because customers, anything you do, when you buy a product, it implies certain trust, right? What about employees? Would you like to work with an employer that you don't trust? You don't trust the employer. The employer has a reputation that he's a cheater. First of all, what? You are not proud to be working there. Second, you are afraid that he will always find some way to cheat you, not promote you, not give you the, okay? Who else cares about how ethical we are as business people? Who else? Besides the customers and the employees? Who else? Before goes society? Huh? The suppliers, of course. The suppliers. The suppliers. Because suppliers care too that they are being paid, right? Paid on time and so on. Who else?
Shareholders.
The shareholders. Why the shareholders care?
Because if they make an investment in a company which is unethical, then the investor is basically giving a wrong impression to the other investments that he's making as well, and to not accept his investment because he only invested in unethical companies.
And also it's higher risk that bad reputation may make the shareholder value drop and lose his money and so on. Who else care? Who else? Competitors. Competitors care if you are ethical or unethical. If you are bad mouthing them, if you are spying on them, if you are society. Why should it care?
Because maybe this employer do not respect the health, safety or environmental issues.
Environmental issues, health and safety, and so on. Okay. Anybody else?
Government, tax office.
Government. Why the government cares? Because they want to.
Whether you're keeping up to law or not, whether you're paying your taxes,
etc. Yes.
whether you're keeping regulations or not.
Okay. Here, who cares? Who bothers? Okay. Customers, employees, business leaders, managers, the media, individuals, the society. Okay. Why customers care? Because most human decisions are not based only on economics, they are based also on ethical and emotional considerations, right? I think you have this somewhere. Huh? Employees care about ethics. Why? Because better employees are attracted to ethical and socially responsible firms, more loyal and dependable and inspired by people who are ethical, by managers who are ethical. Many capable employees do not want to work for a company with a bad reputation, for mistreating employees, for selling unsafe products, for engaging in false advertising, or causing problems to community. All this you understand. Okay, people want to be proud where they work. Business leaders care, of course, because they understand the importance of trust. Okay. Company values. We are going to talk about both trust and company values, which define what the company stands for. Do you have enough guts and enough confidence in your ability to do right. Okay, as a manager, it's very important to ask yourself, okay, we maybe all be doing the right thing, right? When things are easy, things are normal, everybody can be ethical. The question is, when there is high cost to be ethical, it's a tough decision. When you are own money, when you have something significant at stake, when you may even end up in jail, are you willing to do the right thing? Or you are going to just change your ethics and say, oh, okay, now this is difficult. Okay? Is your ethics absolute or relative? Einstein trained his students to be, Einstein was a professor, as you know, at Princeton University. He trained his students to be ethical and never cheat in exams. And indeed, they never cheated. But one time, they did cheat in a difficult exam. So when he asked them, so many times I gave you exams, you never cheated. How come you cheated on this exam, this last one? And their answer was, the previous exams were accessible, they were manageable. But this last one was extremely difficult. That's the reason we cheated. And Einstein told them, I want to remind you, relativity is about physics, not about ethics. Right? Okay. What is the difference between success and excellence? You know? What is the difference? Yes.
Okay, you might be successful, but behind this success there are some ethical practices and unethical practices. Once you are excellent, there is no doubt that you are completely ethical.
Yes.
Excellence is not always success.
Yes.
Success is not excellence.
Uh,
And success is not excellence.
Success or excellence. And you may be excellent and not
But not
succeed.
successful.
Not successful. Okay? So, what do you want to be? Always successful or always excellent?
Excellent.
Successful.
Always successful.
You have to be in a party to be successful.
Excellently successful.
Extra is excellence.
Let me ask you, what is the difference between great and big? Great and big.
One is the
Do you want to,
size.
if you want to build a company, you want to build a great company or a big company?
Great.
What is the difference between the two?
Relatively to other companies.
Great
is
big
one.
and successful.
Oh, the difference between great and big.
Amazing.
What's the difference?
A big company could be still be a loss making.
You could be a small and a great company.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which means size. And
What
another-
means, what's the difference between big and great?
It's the size and output.
Yeah, exactly.
Great implies value, whereas big implies size.
Big is quantitative, right? Implies quantity, size. While great is qualitative, right? Your aim is to be a great person, not a big person, right? Your aim is to build a great company, not a big company. Okay.
Is that similar to the difference between a manager and a leader?
Everyone's a leader.
What's the difference between a manager and a leader?
Leader inspires, motivates. Manager just like to keep the seat for.
Manager is position. Leader is, I don't know.
Everyone.
Others?
How another one? A leader will reward someone for doing something good, but the manager will point the mistakes of the employees.
Manager is a position, leader is a value.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, my definition is A manager does things right. A leader does the right things. In business, you have to be both a leader and a manager. You have to do the right things right. Right? A manager does things right, in the right way. Whatever you give him to do, it may not be the right thing, but he will do it right. Okay? For example, if his role is for trains or cars or planes to leave on time, he will make sure they leave on time. Okay? But they may go into the wrong destination. The leader is the one who makes sure they go to the right destination. But a good leader has to be also a good manager. So make the trains leave on time for the right destination. Right? So a good leader is one who does the right things right, the right way. Okay? Leadership is a lot about objectives. Management is a lot about needs. Okay? A good leader is also a good manager. If he's not a good manager, he better hire someone to be the manager. But the objectives, the vision, the inspiration is set by the leader. Right? Often, good leaders may not be good managers. In that case, you need to hire an executive to do the management. But you set the objectives, the goals, the vision. And he chooses the means, how to carry them out, how to manage. Understand? Okay. There's a book if you want to read about this difference between a great company and a big company. The book is called Small Giants. Small Giants. Actually, you brought the author of this book to Cyprus and gave a talk at CIIM. The title is Great Giants, and there's a community called Great Giants Community.
Small great.
Oh, sorry. Small Giants. Can you find it on your on your computer? Small Giants. The companies that chose to be great instead of big. The author is Bob Bellingham. B-U-R Bellingham. Okay? And there you are going to read about companies who had the choice to be big, but they chose instead to be great. Great in terms of service, great in terms of social responsibility, great in terms of products, in terms of reputation, in terms of serving the customer, in terms of behaving ethically, and so on. Okay? So, in your life, choose to have a great business, not a big business. And a great business may become big. Okay? But the big one, not as big. If you started to build a big business, it's not likely to be also great. Choose to have a great house, not necessarily a big house. Choose to have a great family, not necessarily a big family. Okay?
Use the example of Orfanini supermarkets. Back at the 80s and 90s, whenever you were referring to a supermarket, it was only Orfanidis. He had almost 90% of the share market. And from 5 or 6 or 7 supermarkets, he became having 28. So he decided to cross the line of being a great chain to a bigger chain.
Right. Right. Starbucks started with the intention to be a great company. But in the process, they became also a big company. And at some point, they realized that they were losing greatness for bigness. So, a couple of years ago, they closed 7,000 shops around the world. Just because they thought that we're going too far on the bigness road, and they came back to find their way again, right? So if you think ever you're becoming too big, right? For example, you have friends. You have 3, 4, 5 great friends. Then you make some more friends, more people come in, you have a bigger circle. Whether this is Facebook or reality or something. And then you realize some people come in who are not, yes, you have a bigger group, but the quality falls. So maybe you need to, for example, if too many negative people, creating negative energy, come into your company, try to cut it down. You want more positive people. Okay? So choose greatness rather than bigness, choose excellence rather than just success.
May I have a question?
You may, yes. You already had one. You asked me. The second question. Okay.
What about if you are a company which produce some products, and if you stay stable, you cannot compete with other companies because you do not have the quantity. Because if you produce 1 ton in a year, you have a more expensive product if you produce 10 tons per year.
It's the scale economy. Scale, yes. Okay.
So this company is going to close.
Of course, you need
because the competitor.
Of course,
will have best prices.
Okay. Two things about this. You hear from the issue. The issue says that maybe you need the scale, you need the size in order to be able to compete. So if you choose to be great rather than big, maybe you compete it out of the market. Can anybody respond to this?
You can stay competitive by the pure quality of your product. You can have a more palatable output, and also you can create relationships either with your customers or your suppliers that will enable them to stay in business with you, even if it costs them a bit extra, because they have this relationship, this working partnership with you that is more worthwhile than that just changing for a cheaper product or a supplier.
You agree with these points?
And you also may use creative marketing.
Okay. Any other?
Can you still grow and remain great? Yeah. Preserve your greatness.
Yeah.
It's a hybrid. You have to be both. You can only remain competitive, but it's limited competition based on your size. You cannot increase your output and reduce your costs by achieving economies of scale. You have to increase in line with your revenue. So if you're going to achieve bigness, you have to achieve greatness at the same time. Or your goal should be both. You cannot be big and compete in a fierce marketplace at the same time. It has to be both.
You cover all the factors, and all the questions were all right. All of you correct, bravo. You missed one very important factor, and one additional, which is, I will put it as number 1. But all the things you said, absolutely right, correct, quality, relationships, great marketing, grow both quality and quantity together.
Grow step by step.
Okay, gradually, all these are correct. No, it's a very simple concept, but we very often forget it. What is? Why? Your name?
Victoras.
Why Victoras is worrying so much that he will be outcompeted by his competitors because their cost may be slightly lower? Because he's more learned, he doesn't have economies of scale, they are bigger. For example, let's assume in the area I live, I live in Alhambra, and next to it there are There are baker shop in Perachorioni, Sudali there. There was one that which we always shop there. His name is Sifunas, in the corner there where you tend to go to Dali. And it used to be virtually the only one there. No, there was a few others, 2, 3 others, but that was the main one. And then suddenly Zorpas came there, next door, just 200 meters further. Everybody thought all these restaurants will finish, all these bakeries will finish. There were about 3, I think, at the time, 3 others. And they thought they would all close. Also Maragos came on the other side. They say that they're finished. Indeed, 2 of the 3 closed. 2 of the 3. There are 3 different owners. So they are not chains. They closed down. But Sifunas, this one, managed to survive, both Maragos and Zorpas. And not only managed to survive, managed to keep and increase its customers. And has more customers. Zorpas is a great company, of course, and I know the owners and the Costas and Dimitris, and they're very good and so. And they have a huge chain. They're everyone's side. But this Sifunas, that's the only place they are. They have just that one bakery. But they didn't stand still, like the other ones who stand still and they thought they would be competing with the chain. These guys, they made changes, tremendous changes. And they managed to have more cliente than Maragos and Zorpas together. How did they manage that? Can you think?
Benefits of focus, dynamic, managing change, it's so many different things.
Yes, but all those, but they did one thing. What do you think they did?
Stay genuine and human.
Okay, the relationships and so on, but they did something else.
Maybe because of experience, the shop knows what the location needs, or maybe it's offered something new, something what other shop don't have.
Differentiation. Of course they cultivate relationship. Of course they talk to you, they just they're very pleasant. They don't just sit behind the thing when you come in, they and so on. They change the way they put everything and so on. But they did a few other things. For example, they did their events where you can see the fire. What is? There you can buy the things hot. When it's okay, they are fresh, but may not be hot. But these guys completely, they are cooking. You smell it when you go in, their food. They are, many of those parts maybe come from another place. But theirs, you smell it, I mean, people like to go in, you go on a Sunday morning, and you smell the fresh baked bread, the fresh baked. The other ones, they bring them from some central place or things like this. They are more impersonal, the other place. And these guys also constantly, they do new products. George, you know that the ones I talk about, right? They do new sweets, new breads, new kinds of breads, new of this, new of that. They offer also food for lunch, but they do also Chinese, they do this. They are very, okay, so they differentiate their product. So you could survive, even though you don't have the scale. Obviously, Zorpas have a bigger scale, and they can bake everything in a big, huge level, in a central place in Nicosia, and this, I don't know. But here we have a small bakery with a single shop, but differentiated themselves, okay? Maybe they're slightly more expensive, but people don't care. I care on Sunday morning when I wake up to smell there and go to buy it for the bakery, to have that smell, to have the friendship, you have to see what different things they have today, not always the standard thing. So differentiation is the most fundamental thing. Don't get yourself into becoming a commodity where you cannot have any margin of profit, right? Because if you sell bread and everybody else sells bread, the same kind of bread, right? If you charge even 5 cents more, I go to the cheaper, right? But if you sell a differentiated product, something different, who creates emotional value beyond, okay? The just to fill my stomach. You understand? The differentiation is, and this holds about everything. About you as individuals, about the company, about everything. If you don't want to be competing on cost, don't become a commodity. Differentiate yourself. Create a brand. I made the test. I went several times to the one shop and the other shop. And I see how many customers they go in, I count them, I saw them, I smell the one, I smell the other, I look at their breads, I the differentiation. In the one place, you get them very close to them, and you go there and you feel the heat of your face from there. Yeah. In the other one, you go, they are all in the shelves there, you go take it, you go to the cashier, you pay. There's no emotion. There is no, right? You cannot define this, but this is what you pay most of the money for the thing you cannot define, right? You create that aura, that kind of ambiance. You go to a restaurant, you don't pay much, you eat the food and then you feel, it wasn't worth it. You go to another restaurant, you pay 3 times as much, and you feel you got a good value, right? The ambiance, the relationship. It's not just the quality is important, but relationships and differentiation, ambiance, the aura, all these things, they're worth a lot. Okay. So companies' values, do you have enough guts? Okay, we'll talk about this. Okay. So, answer to your question. If you go for great in terms of rather than big, maybe in the short term you hurt a bit. Maybe you don't have as much profit. But then in the long run, if you're ethical, you may lose something in the short run. You may not have as many profits. But in the long run, you will be better off. Okay? As business leaders, as managers, you should go for exercising moral leadership, not just maximization of shareholder value. Should be a moral leader as well, right? And my complaint about our government and our president is, and I told the current president as well, I said to him, she asked us, what can I do to get the economy started? We did this, we did that, we did the other thing. I said, people are hurting. People are lost. They lost their trust. You are their president. Come out. Tell them what is your vision. Give them some hope about the future. Tell them what are the goals, where we're going to go, where we want to take the country.
Tell them another fairy tale.
No fairy tale. Tell them, no.
It's always a fairy tale.
Yeah, but this is not the point. The fairy tale will be find out. Just, okay, difficult times, right? Yeah, there are difficult times. Obviously, people understand that. But give them some vision, give them some direction, some inspiration. Generally, our leaders don't feel that they have to do this. When the people are looking towards that, they are thirsty for someone to say, yes, we are going this direction. What kind of Cyprus we want? Tell me. Since the year 1990, I see that Cyprus should become a smart, green technopolis. High touch, high tech. Right? Green, tourist place, we're an island. This place should be green, should be environmentally sustainable, environmentally friendly. We should protect our beaches, not just build everything around like we did. We preserve the traditional architecture, we preserve the human scale, okay? And at the same time become high-tech, right? Services, but a very high-tech level. Apply high technology into our tourism industry. At the same thing, high-touch. You know what I mean, high-touch? There's a book, High-Tech, High-Touch, means that high technology together with human touch in customer service, for example. But we don't do that. I'll say, what can we do? We want to be a global banking sector. Okay, you want to be a global banking, a global financial sector, then be very careful, very, very transparent, right? Don't have anything to do with money laundering. Stay, my God, you have to be so clear, make sure that your banks are well supervised, right? that you really create a stellar reputation. Otherwise, don't say you're going to become financial. Decide what you want to become, and then ask what are the requirements for becoming what you want to become. You cannot just be a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Guys, you cannot be a little bit pregnant. Either you are pregnant or you are not pregnant. In our case, we think we can be a little pregnant, a little bit of this, and a little bit of that, and a little bit of that, and at the end we are nothing. Decide what you want to promote. Give people direction. So moral leadership. That's what we need. We need moral leadership. And it's not only this president. The previous presidents, I told them, you have to give people a vision. You cannot be a president and just behave like a manager.
But we don't
manager is not good enough.
We don't need only the vision, we need the actions as well.
Yes, of
like
course.
The mayor of Limassol, let's say. He shows actions.
Yeah.
We've seen Limassol improving, not
Exactly.
like Paphos. Paphos
Exactly.
is for
Exactly.
how long now?
No, it's a very good point. Nicolas makes a very good point. You come to Limassol and you see year after year, Limassol is improving, right? It has become from what might have been the worst town. I remember when I was young, Limassol was considered the worst town in Cyprus. It has become the best town in Cyprus. While Paphos and Nicosia, they go from bad to worse. Paphos has become nothing else than a series of neon lights, of shacks built, a mishmash of everything. Nicosia the same. No vision. First one is the vision, and then it's the action. That's it. Of course, vision, they say vision without implementation is hallucination. You have to have vision and implementation. You have to be both a leader and a manager. We have people, okay, maybe our presidents, maybe our governments, they have been doing things right. I doubt it. But they have not been doing the right things. Right? Or in some cases may have been doing the right things, but to do them the wrong way. You have to do both. This is called moral leadership with implementation, of course. Okay, managers care about ethics. A reputation for ethics is a partner in every negotiation. If you have a reputation that you are ethical, then it's like you have a partner in the negotiation that supports you. The media focus on ethics. You read the newspapers every day. If you do something good, they put in the side pages. You do something bad, it's going to be in the front pages. Okay? Okay, firms with more favorable corporate reputation are able to charge premium prices. You want to charge higher prices, you have to have good reputation. You have good reputation. Okay, for example, I was talking about this bakery. If you go and you tell them, complain about something that maybe wasn't to your liking, not only they will replace you, no question asked, they apologize, and they will give you a present on top of that. Okay? While in some other places, not the particulars I mentioned, in some other places you go and complain and start arguing with you and right? I give you an example. In you know IKEA. I have the impression that IKEA is a good company. Scandinavian company, they have good. And but I had a chance to test how good they are in customer service and all these things. But I tell you first where I got the idea that IKEA should be a good company. In the United States, the similar company is called Nordstrom. You know what Nordstrom? It's a huge company, all for the house. Okay. One day in one of their huge stores, I don't know, in New York or something, you know, these huge stores, they have also a desk called customer service desk, where you return things if you or you have some problems with the money. Okay, so one day in a long line of people standing, waiting to their turn to talk to the customer person, to change things or whatever, there was a lady that when her turn came, an old lady, 60, 70, 60 years old, she was holding 2 tires in her hands, tires, car tires. So when her turn came, she said to the customer service person, "Sir, I bought these tires from you last week and they do not fit, are the wrong size." And the man says to her, "Okay, I'm sorry, madam, I apologize for this, for the inconvenience. And I don't want any new ones. I want my money back." She said, "Okay, ma'am, just give us your receipt." I lost the receipt. I don't know how is the receipt, but I bought them last week from you." "Okay," said, "okay, madam, don't worry. Just tell us how much you paid." "I paid $200. "Okay, ma'am, no problem. Open the drawer. Here is you are $200. So the lady goes to leave the tires there. He says, "Ma'am, take the tires with you too. We don't need them. You take them. It's yours." And she takes them and goes. Now, if this happens, by the way, everybody knows, everybody who's in the line, hundreds of people, and everybody knows that Nostrum does not sell tires. Right? Now, tell me if this happened in Cyprus.
This is a good company. What the incident makes them a good company?
I didn't say anything
No,
about
I'm
that.
asking.
I'm not, but I will come to answer your question in a moment. But the question I'm asking you, if this happened in Cyprus, what would have happened to this man? To the, huh? What happened to the customer service person?
He will be fired.
Fired. Okay. What happened in Nostrum?
Promoted.
They promoted to vice president for customer service.
What is the name of the company?
Nostrum.
Where is it?
Nostrum. And you read, there's a book called, this answers your question, the book is called The Nostrum Way. You should read it. It is how you provide top customer service. Nostrum, the Nostrum Way. Now, the Nostrum Way. That night, somebody from all the people waiting live, called up CNN and told them the story. It was in the national news in the evening. Then various professors of business and marketing and customer service put it in their blogs, in their on articles, in their business book, textbooks, and so on. So Nostrum is estimating, I saw a couple of years ago, estimate that this action by this man is estimated to have brought to Nostrum more than $1 billion in revenues. Do you want a better marketing? A better advertising? I mean, the fact that this guy did not cause any problem to the lady. Yes, madam. Okay. That was customer service. Yes, you see.
But he didn't do that with the intention to be on news and be
No,
promoted.
absolutely not. He did it because Nostrum tells its employees, empowers their employees.
It's a policy.
Yes,
it's company
yes,
policy.
company
so
policy.
Customers are
That's the
treated-
reason I told you the Nostrum Way is your answer. They empower the employees to solve problems, actually up to the cost of $2,000. Yes, it is. You solve the problem.
So it's
Don't
not
go.
the employee, it's the company.
It's the company, of course, it's the company. But it's a company, yes, but it's a great company. It's a big company too. It empowers employees to solve problems. In our case, we don't have this policy. I tell you another example, to see how you have to be thinking to be different to be successful. At Harvard, I have a colleague. His name, you can find he's very famous. His name is Earl, E-A-R-L, Sasser, S-A-S-S-E-R. He is considered the father of the field of services management field. Earl Sasser happened, I share with him the same yard. My house is in the one street, he's in the other, and the yard is common in the middle. Talking the story I told you now, it's 20 years ago. And he called me one day to tell me what happened to him. So I went over and he said to me, you know, 3 months ago I ordered a BMW from Germany. I ordered the specifications the way I wanted it, so in 3 months it came and they asked me to go and pick it up, which is in the company's base is 30 miles away, so I drove there and I got the car. When I brought it home, I checked it also in the factory, but in the shop, but not so well. When I came home, I checked it better and I realized that one of my specifications was not right. Because I'm not a smoker, I requested that instead of a ashtray, they put a box for change. Because in the United States, there is, as you know, there is tolls. Or not tolls for the road tolls, by the way. So I have the change there. So when I noticed that they didn't do this one. So I called BMW and I told them, guys, I noticed that one of my specifications has not been implemented. The guy on the other side said, I'm sorry, sir. I realize there was a mistake. Apologize. I'm going to write it down, and we are going to order it from Germany. In 6 to 8 weeks it will come, and we call you to bring the car down to change it. He says to them, can you not do anything better than that? He says, sorry, this is our policy. This is the company policy. That's the way we do it. That's the best we can do, and apologize for the inconvenience. So he hung up. Then he was thinking, being a person who is a business school professor, management, services management field, and so on, he thought, that guy was very polite, and certainly they accepted their mistake and they will correct it. But I'm wondering, is there any of the other luxury car companies that they do any better than that? So he called up Mercedes-Benz. He told them the story. He told them, what would you have done if it was you?